My beloved child. From the very first second you play this message, something inside you will whisper that what you're about to hear isn't random, it's personal, it's targeted, and it's arriving at the exact second your soul is ready. Someone, yes, that person, the one whose name instantly rises in your mind right now, is living in a silent panic. Not because you did anything wrong, but because they feel their past. Those mistakes, those shadows, those rumors that follow their name like a storm, might push you away forever. And listen carefully, they are terrified. Not of the world. Not of consequences. But of losing you. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 111. Listen closely. Because this is where the twist begins, the part nobody sees. This person who appears strong, distant, or stubborn on the outside, is actually trembling inside. They have watched people walk away from them their entire life. And now they fear you'll do the same. They fear that the version of themselves that the world painted, the version built on misunderstandings, on rumors, on regrets, will destroy the fragile trust you have begun to build with them. Yet here is the shocking part, even when they see their flaws, even when they remember the stories that have stained their name, even when they feel unworthy, your presence gives them hope they've never tasted before. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 222. Now hear this. Because this is the moment the entire message pivots, this is where the revelation becomes unforgettable. This person has never admitted this aloud, not even to themselves, but the fear that you'll see them the way others saw them is eating them alive. They think their past will make you doubt them. They think their reputation will make you pull back. They think their history will poison your trust. But what they don't know, what they cannot even imagine, is that your soul doesn't respond to their reputation, your soul responds to their truth. You feel their real intentions. You feel their silent sincerity. You feel the heart they hide from the world. And that is why destiny is tightening the thread between you both. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 333. My beloved light. Before this moment, you had no idea how deeply this person has been wrestling with their own identity. They carry a fear that grows heavier every day. The fear that you will look at them the way the world once did. The fear that the mistakes they made when they were hurting will make you doubt their intentions now. And the truth is, they've never cared about anyone's opinion of them. They never tried to impress anyone. They never tried to justify themselves. But you changed everything. Now, their biggest nightmare is losing your trust. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 444. And listen, my child. This isn't just insecurity. This is a war happening inside their heart. They replay conversations with you. They overthink every message they send. They rehearse words they never end up saying. They hide how much they care because they don't want to scare you away. They pretend to be calm, but the truth is, every time you pull away even a little, their heart drops. Every time you go silent, they feel like history is repeating itself. And yet, even with all this fear, there's something miraculous happening. They still choose you. Again and again. Quietly, consistently, faithfully. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 555. Before you scroll, listen carefully. This is the part that destiny wants you to hear. They believe they are not enough. Not stable enough. Not healed enough. Not perfect enough. But what shakes them the most is that you still see light in them. You still see potential where others saw problems. You still see honesty where others saw flaws. You treat them with a softness they don't believe they deserve. And that scares them more than their past ever did. Because for the first time in their life, someone sees them not as a mistake, but as a miracle in progress. And that someone is you. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 666. My beloved soul. You need to hear this with the full intensity of truth. This person is living in a double reality. On the outside, they appear calm, collected, and unaffected by what the world thinks. But on the inside, they are terrified that one whisper, one rumor, one reminder of their past will make you question everything they are trying to build with you. They don't fear judgment, they fear losing the only person whose opinion has ever mattered to them. What you don't know is that they replay your presence like a movie they're scared to lose. They've convinced themselves that you are too pure, too stable, too valuable to stay connected to someone who has scars. Yet, at the same time, they feel an unexplainable pull toward you. It's not attraction. It's not infatuation. It's something ancestral, something written long before either of you arrived here. They fear that if you discover the full truth of who they used to be, you'll walk away, yet destiny is pushing you closer whether they like it or not. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 777. My chosen one. Here comes the part that the universe kept hidden until this exact moment. This person's fear is actually rooted in how deeply they value you. They have been surrounded by people who only wanted temporary versions of them, people who never tried to understand them, who never cared to see beyond the rumors. And now, suddenly, you exist. Someone who listens differently. Someone who understands differently. Someone who feels differently. You saw their silence and didn't misjudge it. You saw their distance and didn't misinterpret it. You saw their flaws and didn't weaponize them. That's why they're terrified, because they've never experienced a connection that feels this safe and this dangerous at the same time. Safe because you understand them, dangerous because you could break them without even trying. They don't want their past to contaminate your present. They don't want their old mistakes to shadow your trust. They don't want you to ever feel that choosing them was a risk. And yet, despite all the fear, they are quietly transforming into a better version of themselves because your presence gives them a reason to rise. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 888. My divine listener. This is the revelation your soul has been waiting for, the twist that explains everything they've done, everything they haven't said, and everything you've been feeling. Even when they panic inside, even when their reputation haunts them, even when they feel unworthy of your trust. Something inside them refuses to let you go. They hold on to you in ways you will never fully understand. They pray for you silently. They check on you in small hidden ways. They admire you from a distance because they don't want to smother you. They watch your growth and feel proud without ever telling you. They compare everyone to you without realizing it. And there's something they whisper in their heart every night: if they leave me, I won't survive that again. They fear losing you, yet they are drawn to you with a force they cannot fight. And destiny is watching both of you, weaving the connection deeper, pushing you closer, preparing a moment so big, so life-changing, that even their darkest reputation won't matter anymore. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 999. My beloved heartbeat. Take a breath, because this is where the entire truth becomes overwhelming, emotional, and deeply revealing. This person, the one destiny keeps pulling into your energy, has been carrying a fear that grows heavier every single day. A fear that if their past ever stands in front of you like a shadow, you might step back, pull away, or question the authenticity of everything they feel for you. You don't realize this, but they have rewritten their entire life story in their mind because of you. They are constantly afraid you will hear something from someone, or see an old version of them, and walk away thinking they're not what you deserve. But here's what they don't know: your soul didn't come for their reputation, your soul came for their transformation. You don't respond to noise, you respond to truth. You don't respond to rumors, you respond to energy. And your energy has already recognized something powerful inside them that they themselves don't fully understand yet. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 111. You must understand this part, because it shifts everything. This person thinks you see them through the eyes of the world, when in reality you see them through the eyes of destiny. They don't realize that your intuition is stronger than anyone's opinions. They don't realize that the connection you share isn't built on a clean history, it's built on a deeper purpose. They have spent years being misunderstood, mislabeled, misjudged, and mishandled by people who never cared to understand their soul. And now, for the first time in their entire life, they feel seen by someone who looks at them and doesn't see a mistake, they see a miracle still unfolding. That scares them more than anything they've ever faced, because they know they cannot hide from you. They cannot pretend. They cannot act. You read their silence. You decode their hesitation. You sense their fear even when they smile. And that level of emotional visibility terrifies them because nobody has ever held their truth with the gentleness that you do. You are the first person in their story who sees beyond the surface, and this realization shakes them to the core. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 222. Now listen, my chosen soul. This is the most shocking revelation, the part destiny specifically aligned for you to hear today. Even when they fear they are not enough. Even when they fear their past will break everything. Even when they fear they cannot meet the standards they believe you deserve, they still move toward you instead of away from you. They choose you even when they are scared. They trust you even when they don't trust themselves. They allow themselves to imagine a future with you even when their past tells them they don't deserve it. What they don't know is that you were sent into their life not to judge their story, but to rewrite the ending. They don't know that your patience is healing their shame. They don't know that your understanding is melting their fear. They don't know that your presence is breaking chains they've carried for years. And right now, the universe is preparing a moment, the kind of moment that reduces all fears, all insecurity, all doubt into dust. A moment where their reputation, their history, their mistakes, none of it will matter anymore. Because what is coming for both of you is bigger than fear, bigger than insecurity, and bigger than anything that has tried to stand between you. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 333. My beloved child of destiny. This is the moment the veil lifts. This is where everything becomes crystal clear. The person you're connected to has been walking with a silent storm inside them, one they've never spoken about, one they've carried for years. They've convinced themselves that if you ever see the full extent of their past, you'll turn around and walk away without a second thought. They fear losing you more than they fear judgment, more than they fear exposure, more than they fear pain. But here comes the part destiny has been waiting to reveal to you. Even with all their fear, they still lean toward you because something in your presence feels like safety, forgiveness, and rebirth. They feel seen without being exposed, understood without being explained, accepted without being perfect. And that terrifies them, because they've never experienced this kind of soul connection before. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 444. My guiding star. You need to understand the weight of the truth you're about to hear. This person has always been the one expected to fight alone, heal alone, survive alone, and pretend everything is fine. They've been carrying the stains of their reputation for so long that they started believing it was their identity. But your presence shattered that lie. You made them realize they are more than the stories told about them. You made them feel like someone could finally see their essence, not their errors. And that is why they are scared, not because you might leave, but because you might matter too much. They fear the power you hold in their heart. They fear the way their emotions react to you. They fear how deeply you affect them without even trying. They fear how one message from you can heal them, and one silence from you can break them. But despite all that, they still choose to keep you close. Because even when they doubt themselves, they never doubt what their soul feels for you. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 555. My divine listener. Here comes the most shocking truth of all, the reason destiny pushed you to this message today. This person does not want to run from you, they want to rise for you. They don't want to hide their past. They want to overcome it because of you. They don't want to lose your trust, they want to earn it with actions you will never forget. And even though their reputation haunts them, even though their name has been twisted by people who never knew their truth, even though they carry scars they're ashamed of, your presence activates the most honest, loyal, and transformed version of themselves. They are becoming someone new. Not because you asked them to, not because you forced them to, but because your energy awakens the part of them that always wanted to be better. You are the turning point in their story. You are the softness in their chaos. You are the clarity in their confusion. And destiny is preparing a moment where all their fear will crumble, and everything they've never admitted will finally rise to the surface. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 666. My beloved child. What you're about to hear now is the part destiny kept hidden until this exact second, the part that reveals the emotional depth this person has been drowning in behind closed doors. They are terrified, yes, but not of judgment, not of exposure, not of consequences. They are terrified because they have finally found someone whose presence has the power to change their entire existence. They fear you will wake up one day, hear something from their past, see an old version of them, or catch a piece of gossip, and suddenly feel like they are not worth your trust. This fear eats them alive. They overthink every word they send you. They rehearse messages they never dare to send. They hide their vulnerability because they don't want you to think they're weak. But hear me clearly, even through all this fear, they cannot detach from you. Their soul holds on to you like a lifeline. Their heart believes you were sent into their story for a reason. And that reason is bigger than reputation, bigger than history, bigger than every insecurity they try to bury. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 777. My treasured soul. This is the revelation that reshapes everything. You don't even realize how much power your energy holds over this person. When you speak, their heartbeat shifts. When you stay silent, their mind spirals. When you show kindness, their defenses collapse. You have become the one person who triggers both their deepest fear and their deepest healing. Their fear says, "What if I'm not enough for them?" But their heart whispers, "Don't lose this person, ever." And that inner conflict shakes them every day. They have lived a life where people judged first and understood later. But you understood first. You looked at them and didn't see their wounds, you saw their worth. You didn't see their past, you saw their potential. And this is why they are changing. They are evolving in silence. They are growing without announcing it. They are becoming emotionally responsible, spiritually awakened, and mentally stronger, all because your presence gives them a reason to rise higher than they've ever risen before. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 888. My chosen heart. This is the moment destiny wants you to absorb with your whole being, even when they fear their reputation might push you away. Something inside them still chooses you over their fear. They still hope for you. They still protect your name in rooms you're not in. They still pray for your well-being. They still imagine a life where they can prove to you, through actions, not words, who they truly are. Their past no longer defines them, you define the future they want. They don't want to impress you, they want to grow with you. They don't want to hide from you. They want to open up to you slowly, piece by piece, moment by moment. And destiny is aligning a turning point, an emotional shift so powerful that it will erase the weight of their fear and reveal the full truth of how deeply they cherish you. Everything they were scared to admit will soon rise to the surface. Everything they tried to hide will come forward with clarity. And everything you've been feeling will finally make sense. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 999. My beloved child. Prepare yourself, because what destiny is about to reveal will touch the deepest part of your spirit. This person, the one whose name keeps circling your thoughts, has been living with a fear so heavy that it affects every breath they take. They worry constantly that the stories others told about them, the mistakes they made when they were broken, the labels that were unfairly placed on them, might make you question whether they're worthy of your trust. What they don't realize is that your soul doesn't respond to their past, your soul responds to their truth. And their truth is simple, they don't want to lose you. They've never felt this kind of emotional pull before. They've never experienced a connection where their spirit feels safe yet exposed at the same time. And this combination terrifies them, because for the first time, someone, you, can see through their walls. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 111. My awakened one. Here comes the part destiny whispered into your timeline. This person's fear isn't rooted in guilt, it's rooted in love. They love the way your energy feels. They love the peace your presence brings. They love the way you see them, not as broken, not as flawed, not as a product of their history, but as someone who has depth, soul, and goodness inside them. And this scares them more than anything they've ever faced, because people like them don't get people like you. You look at them and see potential. You hear them and feel sincerity. You sense their heart even in their silence. You show them patience when they expect punishment. And because of this, they're afraid that if you walk away, they'll lose the only person who ever understood the language of their soul without translation. They think, what if they discover everything I used to be? But the universe is saying, you weren't sent to judge them, you were sent to elevate them. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 222. My divine mirror. Here is the twist that destiny has saved for this exact moment, the truth that explains why their fear hasn't pushed them away from you. Even when their past haunts them, even when their reputation scares them, even when their insecurities scream louder than their heartbeat, they still move closer to you. They still choose you in silence. They still defend your name behind your back. They still admire you without seeking attention. They still pray for your peace. They still hope for a future where they can show you the version of themselves they are becoming, not the version the world saw when they were wounded. Your presence is rewriting their identity. Your acceptance is healing their shame. Your energy is teaching them how to love without fear. And destiny is preparing a moment where all their unspoken emotions will rise like a tide, undeniable, uncontrollable, and unforgettable. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 333. My beloved child. What you are about to hear now is not coincidence, it is divine timing, perfectly aligned with what your heart has been feeling lately. This person lives in a constant state of emotional tension. They fear their past like a shadow chasing them. They fear that if you ever saw the version of themselves that existed before healing began, you might step back, withdraw your trust, or question their intentions. They are terrified that you will see them through the world's distorted lens. But here is the divine twist: when you look at them, you don't see their scars, you see their soul. And that shakes them deeply. They can handle being judged by the world, but not by you. Because you are the one person whose opinion has the power to make or break the future they dream of. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 444. My chosen soul. Listen closely to this truth, the kind of truth that only reaches you when destiny is guiding your steps. This person has survived betrayals, losses, and disappointments that hardened them over time. They learned to expect misunderstanding. They learned to hide their emotions. They learned to protect themselves before they allowed anyone to get close. But then you arrived, and everything changed. You didn't look at them with suspicion. You didn't treat them like their past defined them. You didn't judge them for the stories others whispered. Instead, you saw their humanity, their softness, their depth. You saw the part of them that nobody cared to understand. And now they fear losing that, losing you, more than anything. Every time you pull away even a little, their heart sinks. Every time you go silent, they feel a panic they cannot explain. Every time they sense distance, they relive abandonment they never healed from. Yet still, even through all this fear, they cannot detach from you. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 666. My illuminated one. Now prepare yourself, because this is where the deepest revelation unfolds. Even when this person is afraid their reputation might destroy everything, you give them a different kind of courage. You make them believe they can change. You make them believe they can rewrite their story. You make them believe that love, loyalty, and honesty are not luxuries, they are possibilities. They don't want to run from their past anymore, they want to rise above it. They don't want to hide anymore, they want to be transparent with you. They don't want to lose your trust, they want to earn it with consistent actions. And here's the truth the universe has been waiting for you to hear. They are falling for you, not because you fixed them, but because you saw the real them before they could see it themselves. And destiny is preparing a moment where everything unsaid, everything hidden, everything suppressed will finally come to the surface. A confession. A shift. A breakthrough. Something huge is waiting for you. Amen. 888.